Okay.
Hold on.
Testing 1, 2.
Hold on.
Testing. Just a little bit.
I lost the YouTube. Where'd it go?
I think it might just be YouTube.
I lost it.
I think you'll be okay with it then. The YouTube video. Our YouTube just altogether and just deleted it. It's still streaming. I can hear me in the back of the net.
Hold on. Does he have the YouTube for this meeting?
Yeah, he says it's still streaming.
Oh, okay. I need that. I need it put on the website.
Do you want me to have him send the link?
Well, one of you can just do it because it's already hold on.
We just need to put the link, right?
Yeah. And there's already a slot for it on the open meetings page.
Thank you, Alden. He said he could hear it though.
Yeah, I can still hear the.
Said it's a little echoey, but
You have like the commissioner, one of the commissioners talking as well.
hey, Commissioner O'Connell, can you go ahead and speak to the speaker real quick?
To get closer. Not that much.
Alvin, can you hear that?
Really delayed.
It is really delayed. You just sent me over to try and it's yeah, I can hear you. Actually really close to you. See if they can turn up the
Okay. Let me go ask him real quick.
because he has to like get up all like.
Yeah, he had to get really up and close and personal.
Let me go and see. He had to get really up and person.
Yeah, I can hear the delay.
Yeah, sorry.
So do I have to have my audio on my computer on?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just be quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. That would not possible to turn up the gain, which is fine. I'll just have them speak closer. Okay, okay.
My advice would be that they actually have a laptop in front of them and join the Zoom.
Yeah.
That way, yeah, and they can just blur the video, because you'll have them on video here. They'll have to use that audio. Be the best, I think.
Do any of them have their laptop?
No.
No, I think. Another laptop over here. Get a laptop. You guys need laptops, so get them.
Oh, I didn't handle that.
Okay. Okay, give me one second.
Yeah. On the right link.
And then let's go ahead and we're gonna do a test now. Hey Alden, we have him on muted. Can you hear us?
Testing, Eldon, can you hear us?
Testing, 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 testing.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah. Well, who knows?
We can hear you on Zoom.
You can? Can you hear me through Zoom? Testing, testing. Okay, perfect.
I can hear you through Zoom.
Mike,
Yeah.
testing.
Again, so these ones, they didn't allow us to turn the gain up, so we have to get really close up and personal with it, just in order for it to pick up anything.
Great, sorry.
But Patrick wants to test this one out real quick.
Okay,
I'll watch.
Patrick, I'm testing the microphone in here.
And they raise the volume.
I think it's,
You have to get really close.
yeah, he said that. Yeah, we have to get really close. We can.
Testing.
We can do that. We're not gonna put it on.
Senator Woods asked if you were going to give an overview of the deal, and I said, I don't know whether we're gonna give an overview. I said, we'll just hear it.
Yeah.
So you might tee it up. But I really don't know.
We're gonna do both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll, yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay, do another test.
Okay. Testing, testing.
No, into this.
And then my second question.
Testing.
Can you unmute the,
Can I, what, unmute the what?
unmute the Zoom, whoever is posting?
Unmute the Zoom on which one is muted right now?
This one is unmuted.
Yeah.
Senator Woods.
Test.
Sounds good on Zoom. Can you give the commissioners a heads up that the mics are hot?
County Commissioner Ted Martin. Former Mayor Portales, Mike Miller.
Mark Miller.
I couldn't find mine. I was looking for it this morning. He's a former.
Now try it.
So, Patrick actually had his muted. Test. Oh, no.
It's unmuted now.
Oh, now it's unmuted.
Calm down.
He's the host. But I can mute the current account. Okay, so I'm the staff. And then mute Patrick's. Go ahead. Hey, Commissioner.
My favorite thing about mine is like the filter gets stopped there. I still
Did you hear that? Testing, testing, testing. That's it. We're gonna just leave both unmuted at this point.
I can turn them.
Actually, testing, testing. That's perfect.
Leave it though.
Okay. Okay, we're good.
I'll be quiet.
Patrick's gonna be quiet. All right. Okay. All right, later. All right, do you need anything else from me? Okay.
You're gonna be the camera.
Here, if I sit right here then?
Go ahead.
What time is it? 3:59, or should it start now? Huh? You think that equipment will be good right then?
Well. We're great, Joe. Okay.
I think that's it.
So if someone's at the podium, are you gonna move this camera still, or are you gonna put that laptop up there?
We're gonna just move this.
You just move it manually. Thank you.
Good.
Okay, good afternoon. I was told that I have to get up very up close to the microphone, so hopefully you can hear me. So welcome, and I guess welcome, you're probably thinking the same thing for us. So this is a joint public comment hearing that is being hosted by the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission. It is Wednesday, March 11th, 2026 at 4 o'clock. And we'll go ahead and set this meeting to order. So we're here today to hear public comment on two dockets that involved Excel Southwestern Public Service Company. And this is docket 2566 UT, which is a docket that is requesting various certificates of public convenience and necessity to construct and operate several generation sources, and also transmission with respect to location approval and the right-of-way with approval, among other things. We're also here to talk about or listen to comment on docket number 2579 UT. And that is a proposal by Excel SPS to revise its retail rates. So I'll give a very quick overview of the rate case. So according to the application, it involves three broad areas that are driving the need for changes in rates. that includes significant grid investments that are needed to support the evolving and increasing needs of customers, as well as Xcel Energy's and New Mexico's clean energy goals, investment in a changing generation portfolio as SPS is retiring aging units, extending the lives of select plants, and investing in new sources of generation. And also the mix of SPS's wholesale and retail customers. Just a few quick facts to note. SPS proposes a test year revenue requirement of $892,652,373. The revenue requirement reflects an increase of $175,354,544 in base revenue over current non-fuel base revenue, which is a 24.25% increase in base rate revenues and an approximate 16.73% in total revenue for the future test year. SPS requests a return on equity of 10.5% and an overall weighted average cost of capital of 8.21%. So I know that we have some public officials here today, so want to thank you for coming. And for us, it's really great for us to be here. We know that this is an incredibly important part of the state that we don't normally come to because we're based in Santa Fe and Albuquerque. And so it is really great for us to be here. I appreciate the attendance here, and I want to open it up to my fellow commissioners to see if you have any opening remarks. And then we can start with the public comment and start with any public officials who are here who might want to provide comment. So looking to my fellow commissioners here to see if you have any opening remarks. Go ahead.
Oh, we have to talk into the.
Well, you have to turn that on and talk to this.
Well, thank you all for being here. Apparently, public comment in Curry County is like church. You sit in the back. But, anybody who shows up late, I sit up front, I guess. So anyway, glad to be here. One of the things we've been trying to do is get out around the state more often because, you know, a lot of our work, my oath of office is tied to the laws of the state of New Mexico. We have a lot of rules that govern how we do our work to be fair, but we don't do anything in a vacuum. It's all about what needs to be done to ensure New Mexicans have these services that are so vitally important to your daily life. So it's extremely helpful to hear public comment in terms of making sure we're serving our role correctly. So thank you for being here today and looking forward to what we're going to hear, not just today, but tomorrow we'll be in Hobbs and Roswell. So it's shaping up to be a great trip, and this is the first stop.
I too would like to thank everyone for their attendance today, and we hope to receive a lot of comments, not only here, but throughout this roadshow that we're on. We have had a number of opportunities to meet with the public the last couple months, and it's really important for the community to be engaged because these decisions that we're called upon to make are not only important, but it really is coming at a time that is quite dynamic in this industry, something that we haven't seen for many decades, and that is tremendous demand growth across the nation. And meeting some of those challenges it is going to take capital, going to take a lot of ingenuity, it's going to take a lot of work on the part of the people within the utility industry as well as those that regulate them. So we appreciate everyone here today, we will be listening intently and probably jotting down notes. So we appreciate your letting us know what your thoughts are on these important topics. Thank you.
Okay, so want to recognize that we have several public officials here, including Senator Woods, Representative Zamora, Senator Boone, City Commissioner Martin, former Mayor Mike Miller from Portales. Sorry if I've missed you, and don't mean to put you on the spot, but just want to recognize that you're here and present, and we're collaborating. And so thank you so much for being here. Want to open up the floor for public comment in case any public officials want to start with public comment. And then after that, we'll move to other public comment that we have here in person. And as we keep going, I'll check with Patrick, who's helping manage any public comment we have online. So the floor is yours. And I think the microphone is ready for you.
Yeah, I think it's on. My name is Pat Woods, State Senator from Senate District 7, Curry, Union, and Harding counties. Today, I appreciate so much for the PRC to come in to my part of the world. The PRC is a very unknown entity to many people. You are so essential to the ratepayer and to the utility to keep the two in line with each other. You're watching after the ratepayer while you're also watching the utility so that they can expand when it's timely, or they can use more, I guess you would say, sell their shares, sell their industry in order to raise money to build capital projects. There's a great demand we have in New Mexico, and it's going to be even greater in the future. We're trying our best to electrify everything from automobiles to housing. And we don't have enough electricity. We don't have enough capacity to get the electricity from here to yon. We've got to do both. We've got to build transmission. We've got to build generation. And I know that at the end of the day, the ratepayer pays for it all. And so I know it's a very fine line that we have to walk here to determine how fast we can build, how quick we can get that certificate of completion, or I think that's what it's called. The ability for them to start building their lines and siting their lines, and how we get all that done. That's all your part of the job. I know it is. Determine how much money that the ratepayer has to pay for all this. But again, for economic development, for what the demand is right now, what the future demand is as we electrify the whole United States and New Mexico in particular. You guys are under the gun to make something happen. Put these utilities under the gun to make it happen. We need the energy, we need the economic development, we need the money to come into the state, we need our state to be prosperous, and you all have all that in your hands. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. Not said appropriately.
Good afternoon, PRC. Jack Chatfield, House District 67, State Representative, House District 67. I appreciate you all coming out here, and I appreciate you coming to listen to what the public feels about some of this stuff. We're going to need a lot more electricity, and we're going to need it in New Mexico. We're going to need to make a lot in New Mexico and send it elsewhere. I think as we do that, it's important that we make wise choices. One of the things that as we go through this process, one of the concerns I have had is eminent domain. Do the landowners in the area where these projects happen support the project, and are we able to deal with them? I'm told that we have people, willing sellers that are willing in the corridors, in the transmission corridors, and in the areas where the projects are going on the ground. And so that's something I would hope that you all pay specific attention to, is the landowners and the ranchers and the people that are out there and that are directly affected. We're all affected, but these people, I mean, that's their livelihood there. Appreciate you all coming out to listen to us and to come out here where we are. And thank you. And that's about all I had to say. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming to Clovis. Welcome to Clovis. I see an old Clovis partner here. So I guess we shouldn't give political people a chance to speak on the mic, right? It's like they'll take the chance before anybody else does. But so in your introduction, you talked about rate of return at 10.5%. Can you kind of explain that to us a little bit?
Absolutely. So the rate of return of 10.5% is proposed in the application. And so there would be a hearing to assess whether that is the rate of return that should be approved. And so it could go different ways. There will be testimony. And so just at a very high level, the rate of return is, as a regulated entity, is the amount of return that includes the equity and debt percentages that the utility is allowed to recover through their revenue requirement as a monopoly who operates not necessarily in a competitive environment. And so that's there's a process for that. And so looking at what other rates of returns are earned by other utilities and comparing the risk profiles. And so at the end of this process, there will be a rate of return that will be approved by the commission. Again, 10.5 is what is proposed here. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what will be approved.
And when we're talking about that return, is that a pretty common return? Like, do you take averages across the country, or do you look at averages in New Mexico, or how do you determine as to whether that's a good rate of return?
Yep. So typically there are proxy groups that are proposed. So utilities that, for example, SPS might say these utilities are similar to us in terms of risk. And other interveners will say, well, no, not necessarily. We propose this. And so we have to distill all of that information through the hearing process and come up with something that is just and reasonable. And typically there is a zone of reasonableness. So to answer your question, yes, it could include the other utilities here in New Mexico. It could include utilities across the country. And typically what we're looking for is which ones represent similar risk profile.
And so we don't only, let's see how I want to word this. The PRC doesn't only have to look at electrical lines within the state, or electrical cost of electricity within the state of New Mexico, because we're moving electricity across state lines. Am I correct in that? So then how does the PRC here in the state of New Mexico regulate electricity coming across state lines and the cost of state lines and and the rate of returns that other states keep? And how does that affect New Mexico customers? Are we gonna, because we're upgrading the grid and we're dealing with all these issues, how is that gonna affect the customers, like here in the city of Clovis, where people are struggling to pay their bills and keep food on the table? Are we looking at their electric bills to go up in a drastic way, or are they looking at pretty much trying to keep, are you guys trying to, the electric companies and you trying to keep the minimum cost of it, for the cost of, the rise of the cost at a minimum?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Absolutely trying to keep cost at a minimum. Affordability is one of the biggest issues and priorities that we have. You asked about the interstate transactions. Those actually are not regulated by this commission. Those are regulated by our counterpart at the federal level, Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. However, there are parts of those investments that do go down to the customer's bills. So that is the part that we're looking at, is the part that is going to go down to the customer's bills, because everybody ends up paying for it. But it's not exactly all of the transmission. You know, there's Xcel is a part of the Southwestern Power Pool, RTO. And so there's a certain cost allocation that that region uses for its footprint. And so some of the costs will be allocated to other entities pursuant to that cost allocation method.
Okay. And a lot of this energy that's needed now, is it more for the oil fields, or are the residential people using more electricity?
Well, I would say, you know, I can explain what the application says, right? And so a lot of it is for electrification of the Permian Basin, and customers there who want less expensive utility scale power, and that utility scale power also tends to be better for emissions. It's also for replacing aging infrastructure and to add more generation, both to meet the electrification that I just mentioned, but also general growth, and also the state's carbon goals and renewable portfolio standards.
And then in your introduction, you also talked about location of a new permit. I just put my notes on, but I think you talked about a permit about location of, is this talking about electrical production? And will any of those, are we looking at maybe producing some electricity in our general area where we're at now?
I would need to get back to you on that question.
Is there any current applications? Can I reword my question? Is there any current applications to produce generate electricity here in our area?
I think Commissioner O'Connell wants to help me with this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 2 cases going on right now where SPS has asked to add generation, and the generation resources are spread throughout their entire region, including some near here, but.
Okay, and I personally strongly support SPS. I've had dealings with SPS as a business owner and as a person growing up here in Clovis area, and they've always been real good, really good to work with. And I also supply the oil fields in southeastern New Mexico. As we know that they supply a lot of money generate a lot of money for the state of New Mexico and help New Mexico pay their bills. And want to strongly support any kind of improvements that are needed, and would be very supportive to help either through the legislature or as many know here that we're looking to run for a different position here in the state of New Mexico, and would like to support the oil fields, the state of New Mexico, and our future, and how we go forward with improving our electrical grids and what we have to look forward to. And as legislators, we don't always know the details, but thankful for people like you guys on the PRC and SPS and their engineering and everything they do, and briefing us and getting us up to date. Thank you for coming to Clovis. Hope your trip goes well here. Thank you.
I need your name, please. Hello.
Good afternoon. I'm Pat Boones, New Mexico State Senator, District 27. Chavez, Curry, Lee, Tobacco, and Roosevelt. I'm very familiar with the PRC. I served 17 years on the Board of Trustees at Roosevelt County Electric. And full disclosure, my family has a wind project on our ranch, and this is the 21st year that it's been there, San Juan Mesa wind project. And we're just almost about to get a repower deal signed. We're going to expand a little bit and hope to get that done pretty quick. But I just wanted to mention one great concern I have with the ongoing of what's happening in the electric industry. I'm really concerned about the growing dependence upon renewables. Even though I have a renewable project on my place, I'm still really worried. My electric costs have doubled in the last year, and kind of going pretty fast towards triple. So, and with the shutdown of the natural gas and the coal generation, it just makes me think that it's probably from the renewables. So I'm really concerned about that, and I think, and I know you will, I know you guys will look hard at this, but I'm really pleased to see that the plans include some new natural gas generation coming back online. And I'm just really, I just want to encourage you to really look at that, because I think we need it all. I think the dependence on renewables is probably kind of out of hand. But anyway, that's just my opinion. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate what you do. I know your job's hard. I know with the needs growing at such a fast rate, I know you guys got a lot to look at, and I support you. I support SPS and XL, and just want to get up here and voice my one little concern and say welcome to the Eastern Plain. Thank you.
Thank you.
Seth Martin, I'm a Curry County Commissioner. I understand what the state level is on this. My concern is on the county level. The county is ordinance free. So it's kind of a free for all what can go on within Curry County and a lot of the counties in New Mexico. And all I ask is for consideration of the private property, as Chatfield touched on, but also the concern on battery storage. That's a new thing for our area. I know it's in Texas, it's coming this way. There's a lot of hazards in some of the storage of these renewables there again, which makes renewables not quite as appealing to a lot of people, is you have to have a way to store that energy. But just consideration for the counties, and we don't have ordinances. We want to keep it that way. We don't want to have to put ordinance in to restrict any type of future industry. But that's my concern, and thank you for the time.
Congratulations.
Do we have any other public officials, either in person or online, who would like to provide public comment? No hands. Okay, so thank you for those comments. We certainly hear them, and we appreciate you, coming to share them with us. At this point, I'd like to open up the public comment floor to anybody else who would like to provide public comment in person. We have one taker. Thank you.
Commissioner Nyberg was trying to get me up here, but I'm no longer a public official, so. Good afternoon, and thank you for being here, Mr. Chairman, members. My name is Mike Miller. Today, I'm representing Permian Basin Petroleum Association. We represent oil and gas operators in southeast New Mexico. I also have permission to speak on behalf of the New Mexico Oil and Gas Association and the Independent Petroleum Association of New Mexico. Our members fully appreciate the goals that New Mexico has developed for energy generation, but our members in many of the communities need long-term, reliable energy across the Permian and state, not only for sustained energy development, but the ongoing economic development here in southeast New Mexico. We fully support ensuring that the fleet of power that provides energy to communities are dispatchable and reliable plants that will provide consistent service, not dependent on the weather, and will keep costs low and energy abundant for residential, small commercial, and large industrial users. We are increasingly concerned that electricity demand in New Mexico is rising rapidly while generation capacity is not keeping pace. At the same time, much of the new generation being added does not provide the same level of reliability that our grid has historically depended on. Studies, including an analysis from New Mexico Tech, show growing electricity demand across all major sectors, industrial, residential, and commercial. Some projections estimate demand could increase by as much as 40% by 2040. If we do not address this gap between demand and reliable generation now, we risk putting the stability, affordability, and reliability of New Mexico's electric system at serious risk. For these reasons, we believe it's essential that the Public Regulation Commission take a serious and comprehensive look at our state's generation capacity and support plans that prioritize the most reliable mix of power generation available. Ensuring a dependable generation fleet is key to maintaining affordable and reliable electricity communities across the land of Virginia. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. Are we on? Welcome to Clovis, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Tina Joke. I'm Executive Director of Clovis Economic Development. In our community, we often see opportunities that never materialize because there simply isn't enough available power, or because companies operating on tight timelines cannot wait for the lengthy load studies and interconnection processes that can sometimes take years to complete. For a business owner, that delay can mean postponing an expansion, slowing hiring plans, or ultimately choosing to locate somewhere else. Reliable electricity is a fundamental requirement for economic growth. When businesses know that dependable power and future capacity will be available, they have the confidence to invest. And when they invest, they create jobs, support local suppliers, and strengthen the regional economy. I recognize that not all of the challenges we face are regulatory. However, for the issues within your authority, I respectfully ask the Commission to act as efficiently as possible and support solutions that increase the generation and infrastructure needed to serve both current demand and future economic development. Eastern New Mexico is well positioned for growth. What we need is the electrical capacity to match those opportunities. By supporting new generation and infrastructure that connects to your communities, the Commission can help ensure our region remains competitive for the jobs and investments that drive long-term success. Thank you for engaging with local communities and for your work to strengthen both our electric grid and our economic future. And one thing I'll add that I didn't have in my notes, And on our side of the state, it takes about 12 to 18 months to get a load study. I serve on the board for the New Mexico Partnership, which is the recruitment arm for state economic development. I think they're working currently about 72 leads with companies that are looking at coming into New Mexico. And the maximum time those companies will usually wait for a load study is only about 3 months. So anything you can do to get more power to this side would go a long way. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Bridget Condon, and I'm speaking on behalf of Representative Andy Reed from New Mexico House District 64, who is stuck in court right now for her day job. District 64 represents communities in Chavez, Curry, and Roosevelt counties. And on behalf of these communities, Representative Reed strongly asks for your support of the proposed projects submitted by SPS. We all support the transition to cleaner energy, and renewable resources will continue to play an important role in our state's energy future. But we also have to acknowledge a practical reality. Renewables alone cannot always meet demand during peak periods or extreme weather. While the ETA was passed with good intentions, this request before you is one of many examples that the Energy Transition Act ignores the reality of New Mexico's energy needs and portfolio. The proposal before you reflects an effort to balance the priorities of meeting current and future demands while simultaneously investing in cleaner energy sources. By adding new power generation along with renewable resources and storage, we can strengthen reliability while continuing to move toward a cleaner energy system. For communities like those in District 64, the decision before you is about economic opportunity, reliability, and affordability. Reliable power supports local jobs, allows industries to expand responsibly, and helps maintain a tax base that funds our schools, roads, and public services. It's no secret that Southeast New Mexico plays a vital role in the state's economy. Ensuring our region has dependable and affordable electricity doesn't just benefit our communities, it supports the economic stability of New Mexico as a whole. Representative Reed really appreciates the Commission's thoughtful consideration of these issues and encourages you to keep reliability, affordability, and economic growth in mind as you make your decision. Thank you for coming to the communities that these projects will impact most greatly. It means a lot to see you in Southeast New Mexico. Once again, Representative Reed asks you to support the request from SPS, and thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Do we have any other, I see one in-person comment coming up.
That's good.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission. I'll keep my comments brief. I just want to first start off by saying thank you for coming to rural New Mexico. Too often in rural areas, we feel like we're unheard. We often are sending messages to Santa Fe and it feels like it falls on deaf ears a lot, like the issues that we are facing aren't being taken seriously. And so I just want to thank you for taking the time to come down to rural New Mexico, to Southeast New Mexico, to hear from the people. We have incredible challenges ahead of us with all of the power demand that is going to continue to increase as we move forward. Data centers, AI, just everything demands more power. And something that we often forget about is that quality of life is dictated by the ability to have power in our everyday lives. When I spent time in the military, I traveled to different countries, and I remember walking in buildings and hitting the light switch and the whole building would flicker. So sometimes we take that for granted. The majority of the homes that exist in this country, they don't have access to power on the Navajo Nation. So we have a lot of needs in this state. And so we have tremendous amounts of power that have to be built out. We often talk about how we want to leave our kids better off than we had it. That's going to require us to be brave and to take risks and to look at ways to get this power online to help folks continue to have that quality of life, but also to start to bring our kids back. As you travel around, you're gonna get a good sense of the heartbeat of New Mexico. It's vibrant in every single person that you talk to. Every rural New Mexican is proud of where they come from. They're proud of their roots, but they'll tell you the same story of their kids have had to move away for opportunity. If we want to preserve that, if we want to preserve our language, our land base, our culture, our way of life, we have to find a way to bring our kids back. And part of that is creating opportunities. And that's done through building out more power, bringing projects to New Mexico, allowing our folks, whether it's in the skilled trades or just private sector businesses, having the opportunity to build these incredible projects that our kids will benefit from for years to come. So I'm here on behalf of Consumer Energy Alliance. I serve as the Vice President of State Affairs, and I also serve as the Vice Chairman of the National Hispanic Energy Council. So I just want to wrap up my comments by saying thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to hear from the rural areas. We are partners, so if there's ways that we can continue to help these dialogues happen in our rural areas, just see us as a partner. We're happy to engage in any way that we can. Thank you for being here.
Do we have anybody else in person with this moment? Okay, I'll come back and check. Want to check with Patrick, do we have anybody online waiting to provide public comment? And if there are any public officials, please also check for that.
Mr. Chair, we don't have anyone online for public comment at the moment.
We'll check again in person. Okay, so I think it seems like we're at a lull for the moment. So maybe we'll check back in at 5 o'clock, and if I see people walk in the door, then we can take their public comment as well. But for now, we'll come back at 5 o'clock and see if we have any additional public comment.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody needs to sit down. You can just stay there. Do we have anybody in person for public comment? Okay, and we don't have anybody online, so we'll come back at 5:30. Okay, it's 5:30. Just want to check whether we have any in-person public comment. I'm not seeing any. Patrick, do we have anybody online? Okay. Um, then we will check back at 6 o'clock. Okay, so upon checking in the room, we still don't have public comment in person. Additionally, we don't have anybody waiting online. And so just is there a public comment in person? No? Okay. Yeah, so we don't have anybody in person. We also don't have anybody online. So what we'll do is we'll wait here until 6:15 just to see if we have anybody coming in. And if not, then we'll adjourn. But I do want to remind people that we'll have a regular open meeting tomorrow in Hobbs, and we accept public comment at our regular open meetings. And then we'll have another public comment hearing similar to this one in Roswell. That's tomorrow from 4 to 7 on the same two dockets. And of course, we receive public comment at our regular open meeting. So we'll check back in or adjourn at 6:15 if we don't have anybody. Thank you.
Drive
One of the district pulled out, but we came in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get ready for our next budget. Monday, she told me that there's little shifts, chip shortages and then also stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not much of or more guys.
Yeah. They need it for sure. Laura, your computer, so I can close this out.
Well, you should be fine in here.
Oh, will it kind of, will the Zoom people be able to hear?
Yeah, yeah,
If-
because I can't move this computer.
But you can sit
So
down,
Jeff-
so he can get on camera, right?
No, I don't need the camera. I just need, so I can speak into that microphone and.
Yeah, yeah.
Should be okay. Okay, well, it is 6:16 and we don't have any additional public comment in person or online. And so we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting. I do want to thank Perry County for hosting us here today and appreciate the voices and perspective that we heard early on in our public comment. Thank you. Have a good night. We are.